Hello, everybody, and welcome to Graded Point Live. I don't know what's going on this week. Something weird happened, like things and stuff. What's going on, everybody? I'm here again. Piper's here again. She didn't blow up the world this weekend, thank God. I'm trying to figure out, still trying to figure out, who actually loved Batman as Ben Affleck. That's
I love it when Batman played Ben Affleck.
Yeah, this is this is the wrong Zach. This is not our boy Zach. It's their boy Zach, apparently. Yeah, good old Zack Snyder. He apparently wilded out earlier today, and it made some headlines. So yeah. Let's get. I guess it's just the thing to do is get started on this, isn't it? Let's say Zack Snyder fires back at fans upset Batman killed someone. The filmmaker said people who disagree with his decision for Batman are, quote, living in a fucking dream world. I wonder if he self-censored or that was
or they did that. I just honestly, what is it with creators and all these people just fucking going off on fucking fans? Like, you need those to have job.
Yeah.
You kind of need those. You might want to just say thanks for the money and shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the Golden Age Batman, he killed, that was the thing, like I think like two or three thugs were killed, right? And then they made
Golden Age Batman killed almost every one of his villains. And so one of the pushes to one of the pushes to get him stopped killing wasn't just because of the comics code and stuff like that. It was because they were running out of ideas for villains, and they were like making up really stupid villains because he was killing almost all of them. And and then the Joker became like one of the first and most famous of his rogues gallery, where he didn't fucking kill the villain, and we see how that turned out. But
and also Batman used to be packing too.
Yeah,
he packed heat.
Yeah, I think Batman's more interesting after the Golden Age than he was beforehand.
Yeah, because before that he was just kind of like a pulp comic thing, he just like run around.
Beforehand, like they didn't really, even though at the time like they were really supposed to be putting down like he's the greatest detective and stuff like that.
He didn't really solve crimes; he just killed guys.
Yeah, it was more like, I found you, pew pew. All right, next week.
Last I heard, Golden Age Batman was partially plagiarized from another character. Could have been, what's it called?
Oh, I mean, there was a lot of that going on. Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, the Shadow was, because Shadow kind of, Golden Age Batman and the Shadow kind of had a similar MO.
Yeah, see, basically, Golden Age early Batman was weird as shit. Like, it wasn't, didn't really have a direction, so I like his... Most
Golden Age tales can be easily discarded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I mean, I've already said I'm going to do an episode one night where we just talk about super dickery. Where,
right? Because it's all Golden Age heroes were like fucking weird, dude.
I mean, there's literally
Golden Age Superman is one of the weirdest.
There's literally a Golden Age Superman cover where it says, Superman says, slap a Jap.
Well, that was also kind of propaganda.
Yeah, I know it was propaganda, but still, it was like,
It's still fucking weird.
Yeah. So, yeah. But let's,
What I do think is him not killing, like, in some cases, I think is a bit much. Like, they don't want to get rid of the Joker, but I at least think that there should have been times where he thought he killed the Joker, like, hardcore.
Yeah.
Joker disappears for a while. And then he has to wrestle with the fact that against his own, no, just put them in the asylum because they're sick or whatever the hell. He went against that because of either, rage or this or that, and has to deal with that. There should be a little bit more of that. Like, there should be some leeway.
Well,
But I
like
think there should be a lot of emotional damage for it.
I always like, if you want to go back and have a good example of why why Batman has the code that he has,
Yeah.
go watch Batman Under the Red Hood, and
I swear I've seen that.
where Jason Todd was asked him, why didn't you kill him?
Exactly.
Talking
I
about
did see that.
the Joker, right?
Yeah.
And he said, did you do it? Is it because it's too hard? And he said, no, because it's too easy. He said, because once you go down that road, you can't come back.
Yeah, you just turn back into Golden Age Batman.
Yeah, exactly. What was I going to say? Oh, I should have made this plea at the beginning. But before I get into the article where we talk about what Zack Snyder said, guys, we are 9 subs away from 200 subscribers. So,
yes,
if you know anybody that think you would be interested in watching this pile of crap that we put out once a day, please recommend us and tell us to check us out and all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed, you just show up because you saw the link somewhere. Well, go ahead and subscribe. We'll do a 200 sub stream. I think Xavier promised that if you get 200 subs, we'll take a audience poll, and we'll see. He'll super chat somebody's else's stream, a bigger stream, and then put a kind of a little funny advertisement together for graded, and we'll take a vote on who you think it should be. Who should we harass? Whose stream should we super chat harass? Right now, Xavier, he has more fun harassing Nick Rekieta's stream because he likes to talk about Gundams and Xeons and all that good stuff. Yeah, so it's one of the fun things he likes to do. So yeah.
And that gets us that much closer to 1,000 so that we can be like the cool kids.
Then we can take our own super chats, and then we can be harassed with super chats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, let's get into the article.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder received a lot of criticism for his 2016 tentpole Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. One of which was for his decision to have Ben Affleck's Batman kill somebody during an action scene. The decision left many comic book fans upset, considering Batman is famous for having a no-kill philosophy. At a recent Director's Cut fan event via Digital Spy, Snyder ripped the fans who were bothered by his choice to make Batman bleak to the point of murder. Oh, like, Batman killed a guy. And I'm like, really? Wake the fuck up, Snyder said. So I guess that's what I'm saying about once you've lost your virginity to this fucking movie, and then you come to me and say something like, my superhero wouldn't do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like down the fucking road on that. You know what I mean? It's a cool point, Snyder continued. Look, I'm 100% fine with it. It's a cool point of you to be like, my heroes are still innocent. My heroes didn't lie to America. My heroes didn't embezzle money. My heroes didn't commit any atrocities. And I'm like, that's cool, but you're living in a fucking dream world. Wait a minute. Who embezzled?
What the fuck?
Who embezzled money?
Right.
Guys, apparently,
what's wrong with this guy?
Apparently, Superman committed tax fraud and nobody knew.
Right? What the fuck? I get a little bit so far. It does sound kind of like he's getting annoyed because, I mean, that movie bombed forever ago, and I guess people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
So he's probably getting tired of hearing it.
It's like, no, Zach, you don't understand. It's not that we were just telling you it would have probably been a better movie if they had stayed more true to their, ideals.
They had at least looked at the source material in any way, for one. But also, it sounds like he goes from annoyed that people keep saying it to hashing out some personal problems or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Superman versus the IRS.
Yeah. Not even Superman can run from the IRS.
Like all of a sudden, he's unleashing his like personal. Somebody hurt him in his childhood, I guess.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, honestly, I'd read that comic. I probably would too.
Me too.
It's like Superman versus the U.S. government, but not in the way you think.
To catch up to him and try to get him on tax evasion.
Yeah. Superman, we're aware that you haven't paid your taxes in 10 years. Well, I don't make any money. What are you talking about? Snyder went on to direct Justice League following Batman vs. Superman, but those were his last outing at Warner Brothers, thank God. Snyder left Justice League before reshoots because of a family tragedy, and the film was completed by Joss Whedon. Since the critical beating of Batman v Superman, which was widely panned for its overly dark tone, the DCEU has made a more conscious effort to lighten up in tone, including more humor and jokes in its entries. Recent films such as Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the upcoming Shazam have restored critical favor in the DCEU and earned solid reviews from critics. By the way, Wonder Woman and Aquaman were huge successes. Shazam's looking like it's heading towards to be a huge success.
Yeah, so. Who'd have thunk that, making your characters likable would have such an impact?
Right. Let's see. Next up for Snyder is a return to the zombie genre with his Netflix movie Army of the Dead. See, a lot of his problem... I think for some reason he thought that Watchmen was somehow the ideal superhero experience.
See, the Watchmen shit worked for the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Because it was the Watchmen.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But I agree, that's what it seems like.
The Snyderverse beat up my inner child and stole his lunch money.
Bear's demented for fun.
Yeah, that's what he's. Yeah. Therefore, he's an Arctic citizen and is an illegal immigrant. Oh God, they're gonna kick Superman out. They're gonna throw him back over the wall.
Well, you saw him getting cited for having there, Michael says you have a crystal palace in Antarctica.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't put on his taxes.
Let's see what they say on what's the word on IndieWire. Let's see how their comment section is. Let's see. And he quoted
really long-winded.
And these are the same idiots that regurgitate the same old the story is not told well shtick without backing it up with any facts or accused of being convoluted. Are you for real? The theatrical cut of BVS is one of the worst pieces of storytelling you can ever imagine. I didn't see the director's cut, but it's probably an improvement.
I heard it was a little bit of an improvement. Like, some of the many plot holes were filled in the director's cut. So why they cut out important pieces, don't know.
It's like this T guy kept like repeating himself. He's actually absolutely right. Just because it's a superhero movie doesn't mean it has to be sunshine and rainbows every damn time. Yeah,
Batman can be not sunshine and rainbows and still stick to the source material. The source material is far from sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Batman's a pretty dark character. I mean, guy's parents got killed in front of him, and to cope with that, he puts on a mask and runs around fighting crime. That's not sunshine and fairy tales,
Yeah, if you pick up a comic, sometimes some fucked up shit happens in Batman.
Yeah.
Like.
But the deal is him staying true to that one ideal that no matter what, I will not kill, these the bad guys.
That helps intensify how fucked up the shit is that he has to put up with, and deal with.
And I like these. See, he's one of these guys who they use the buzzwords, and this guy has no idea what he's talking about, right? Idiots took too long to appreciate the genius behind the deconstruction of these heroes. Look, that was a gimmick in the 80s, okay? I'm gonna say it, okay? It was a gimmick. They were good stories. Yes, they were good stories. But they were gimmicks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They were nothing but gimmicks. Because while they were, like I said, I'm not taking away from their storytelling capability. They were great stories. but it was a cop-out. Yeah, exactly. We want you to stop deconstructing them. That's it. We're done with the deconstruction.
Yeah.
That's already been done. It's over.
Yeah.
That, and there you go. Superman is supposed to be about hope, but all they've done is make him the most Elmo whiner on the planet. I'm assuming emo.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that's emo.
The Elmo whiner.
Yeah, the Elmo whiner.
Oh, Superman.
Well, fuck. There's something else that needs to happen now.
Yeah, just Superman just being Elmo. Let's see.
I feel like the Aquaman movie didn't even need to be good to be successful just because of Momoa.
Probably not too far off. Like people can't seem to get enough of Jason Momoa. So
Right. Well, I mean, I'll tell you flat out, there are tons upon tons of chicks that don't give two shits about DC Comics that went to see that movie.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that whole like deconstruction of superhero. Okay, that's fine for Watchmen, right? That was the intended goal of Watchmen.
That seemed like that was the point. Yeah.
Yeah, and people say, well, was it Dark Knight Returns was a deconstruction? I always saw Dark Knight Returns as more of the old an old man comes back to finish what he started. That he left the game too early.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say, but can you really call year one a deconstruction when it's an origin story? You can't really deconstruct an origin,
Unless you stray super far from the source material.
Yeah. An Elmo versus Super Grover parody. Oh man, I hadn't heard Super Grover in so long. But yeah, the whole thing with back to the whole Superman before we got into the whole Elmo thing. Superman is about hope. Like many people have said, when I see Superman in anything, like if this was like that, we were in that universe and shit's going down, right? Things are getting ready to fall the fuck apart. When Superman shows up, I know everything's going to be okay. Because he's the inspiration. He's the hope. You can talk anytime, Piper. You get don't dead air me. Come on.
Oh. I didn't have anything to add because you were on it.
Let's see. Not everything should be Watchmen, or you remove the reason for Watchmen. Exactly. Like let Watchmen be Watchmen. That you did that story, Zach. You did that one already. It wasn't terrible, but you did it. You don't need to keep retelling it. Batman would not kill anybody. That's just the way he is, Let's see. Dark Knight Returns had 27 plot lines too many. Or Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises was very convoluted.
Yeah.
I mean, they rushed through like Batman's like his back gets broken and the recovery was in like a week or whatever. Like Snyder destroyed Superman's greatest power, his parents. Yeah. Don't even get me started on what Snyder did to fucking Jonathan Kent. Cause
I do like this shit from this Jonah dude. This comment.
Oh yeah,
It's a long one. Everybody's comments on this one are super long.
They must have more room. So, haha, this is hilarious. This is so funny. It would make great scene of superhero satire. Honestly, Snyder seems to be more than a little annoyed by all these know-it-all comic crazies who want to teach him how to do his job. But his argument's even crazier. You're living in a fucking dream world. So Zach, you're trying to sell me that your films are not about a dream world. What I think what Mr. Snyder really wanted to say is his films try to add realism. That's fine, but all the realism in the world won't help you. Your story is not told well, Zach. Snyder is a master stylist who needs to do a realistic action movie like Michael Mann. That's what he really wants to do, not kiddie pictures find your true vocation. Well, see, there's another problem with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is like Mr. Effect Blue Screen, the director, right?
Yeah.
I would wager to guess not many of Zack Snyder's movies have take place in real world locations. Because there's a lot of green screen and blue screen shit going on in those.
And that gets old when it gets over.
See, that was like my thing. It worked for.
I don't agree with him making fun of comics fans, by the way. I just agree with Zach.
I don't think Jonah. Wait a minute. I don't think Jonah was making fun of comics fan. I think what he was saying is that Zach's thinking.
Oh.
That's what he's trying to say.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I agree with most of what his story, especially the living in a fucking dream world part. That kind of confused me too, because I was like, it's fiction, buddy. That's kind of what that is. Like.
Okay, Joe, you're gonna like this. You know, they're talking about Pa Kent, or Jonathan Kent in the chat. One thing we make a joke about on my hidden Discord. Once in a while we just start talking about that movie, and that's like always the sticking point. We always come back to that part where, Jonathan Kent doesn't want Clark to help people and doesn't want him to do this, going as far as to telling his son to let him die when he is perfectly capable of saving him and the children on the bus.
Yeah.
So the meme we came up with was, Clark, my invincible son, do not save my life.
He was just done. Like.
Yeah. I think Kevin Costner didn't really want to be there. It's just like.
Yeah. He
probably asked, like, could you just kill me off like within the first 30 minutes? That'd be great. That way I can get back to making cowboy movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I didn't even like in Batman Begins when he takes out Ra's al Ghul.
Out of character too, yeah.
Batman's like, no, I'm going to save you because I'm going to make sure you stay in fucking jail for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to escape because you got, a bunch of assassins that run around and shit, but, still, it's the principle of the matter,
Right? Till next time. But yeah.
See, that's the thing. 9 times out of 10.
Because he saved the Joker on numerous occasions.
Yep.
Just for the Joker to go and fuck with him, like, immediately after or during. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I'm not going to teach you anything good. I'm just going to teach you to fear. Yeah. I mean, that's what he taught. Is Pa Kent is usually alive in some iterations, right? Most of them. Like, the only one he really was dead in was the original Superman with, Christopher Reeve. And then, of course, this one. They've killed him in certain situations, like, in the comics sometimes. But they, usually, he got better.
You got better.
Yeah. He got better. Have any of you read Batman White Knight? No. I've heard good things about it.
I have not, but I heard. Yeah, I was gonna say I heard it was good.
Mm-hmm. I cringed so hard at that scene from Batman Begins. Yeah, that still rubs me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you. And you know what else I think was really hilarious? Okay. So, at this point, he already knows about the fear toxins, right? And he knows his girlfriend's, like, flipping out. So, what's the one thing you're going to do when your girlfriend's flipping out? Rachel, stop! Don't go crazy on me, Rachel!
Right?
Just yell at her, right? Just yell and scream at her. It's like, Rachel, please hang with me. Don't go, Rachel.
God damn it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have apparently killed Piper. So this is going to now be a tribute stream.
I think I'm better now.
Okay, good.
The laughing was getting too loud and out of control.
You were, well, I did, but I busted out a Nolan Batman on you. You weren't expecting, so.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the, I think College Humor did it. They did a parody of like from The Dark Knight, where, you know, the whole Joker interrogation. And it's like, got Batman, he's sending it, I have one question for you. Why are you trying to kill me? And Joker's just sitting there. He's not really saying nothing. He's like, why are you trying to kill me? And he said, like, Joker's like, I'm sorry. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Oh, that's why I remember that parody. Yeah.
Piper peed herself. Yeah. That's your new name, Piper peed.
Piper peed.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's happened to me before, and it kind of sucked. No, but remember, I'm Piper Jones, though.
Oh yeah. Alex Jones' crazier sister. Yeah, Superman versus the Elite. I saw that one. That was actually really good. Where one of the times he actually cuts loose, you know. Yeah, he didn't. He made them all look bad, and he did it just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I think Zach is a little bit upset that people didn't like his movie like he thought they would. But let's be honest, you know, Zach, you ain't exactly been batting 1,000 when it comes to the movies lately. I mean, 300 was good, right?
Yeah.
The first, what was it? Sin City was good. But Watchmen was it was all right. You know, I can sit down and watch it. You know what I mean? Then he had that one weird movie. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, it was some like weirdo movie. It was like it was about some chick, and it wasn't really that great.
Helps.
Yeah. I know.
I probably didn't see it then.
Yeah, overall, his movies aren't as good as Wonder Woman or Aquaman. Nah, that's that's pretty much
Oh, Cat managed to actually get in.
the whole the whole
Lobo
thing.
left his post.
The whole people was all, hey, you know, well, we should see Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League before we judge. I'm like, I mean, there is a good possibility that the Snyder cut would actually be worse than what Whedon put together. And I'm not saying Whedon put together a good movie.
Sucker Punch?
Sucker Punch, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay, that's funny because that's actually a movie I tried to watch.
So what now?
I said, well, because before I was like, I probably didn't watch it. But if it was Sucker Punch, then it's a movie I attempted to watch.
I hear attempted. That means it didn't go well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very convoluted. After a while, I was just like, I'm bored. Mm-hmm.
Just hand the whole DCEU needs to be in Patty Jenkins' hands. Maybe. I would be, you know, there just needs somebody who can just put some QA on this. You know what I mean? Like, basically sit down and say, okay, Superman can do this, but he can't do that. Batman can do this, but he can't do that. Okay, you can push Superman, you can have Superman do some dark shit, but not this dark shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be fine with, like, you know, Superman dangling a dude off the, you know, a building, right? And then letting him go and then catching him with the batter, you know, with his back grapple before he hits the ground. You know, that kind of stuff. Have a little edge to him, but not, you know, dark. Chat's getting a little loose in here. Getting a little rowdy.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
And the visuals.
This is the time when we change the subject.
Soundtrack was good, but I got bored. Like,
this is where we change the subject. Let's just hit the quick one with the rumors about who's going to be in the Black Widow movie.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. Rumor Taskmaster to be the main villain in Batman. And there we go again. Sorry about that. In Marvel's Black Widow movie.
Is Black Widow gonna be in her fucking movie?
I mean, at this point, probably not.
Or is Hermione gonna be in her?
I mean, at this point, probably not. Let's be honest. Marvel Ultimate Universe version also suggests that the Marvel Studios is looking at Andre Holland to take on the role. The Taskmaster is Marvel Ultimate Universe's first appearance on the Spider-Man number 26. Anthony Masters was hired by Roxxon Corporation to heal the company's runaway experiments. He was specifically hired to bring in Cloak and Dagger across the path of Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and Bombshell. A Spider-Man, a Spider-Lady. This turned out to be a profitable day. I don't know. I don't know if I like. I'm starting already seeing this. I don't know if I like this or not.
At first I was like, yeah, Taskmaster. The more you're reading, the more I'm like,
maybe not. During his fight with Spider-Man,
sounds like they're gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, during his fight with Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and Bombshell, Taskmaster's powers would be revealed to copy any powers or attacks to make contact with him. For example, after Bombshell uses her powers on him, Taskmaster doesn't even stagger and throws her own mimic attack right back at her. Oh no, I don't like that. It doesn't.
Well, I mean, I thought that was his power.
No, his power is he's got a photogenic memory.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute, he shouldn't be able to do that. It should be,
It's if he sees it, he can do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's a power, he shouldn't be able to copy it.
He can't copy powers, but he can copy fighting styles.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's like kung fu, he can copy perfectly what.
Yeah, because he can copy Captain America's fighting style. He can throw a shield like Captain America. Etc.
God damn it.
Yeah, photographic reflexes. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Ultimate fucking Taskmaster. My excitement level went from my interested peak to you fuckers.
Yeah. The main 616 Marvel Universe Taskmaster originally debuted in Avengers 195 in 1980. The character was created by David Michelini and artist George Perez. His abilities are a little different than the Ultimate version.
They're cooler. They're
in the main universe,
more unique that way than just I'm Ditto.
Yeah. In the main universe, Taskmaster is able to mimic physical movements of his opponents. His ability to allow him to duplicate complicated rope tricks, excel at football, and allow him to take on some of the Marvel Universe's most accomplished fighters. Similar to the Ultimate Universe version, Taskmaster is a mercenary. However, he also created a training school for criminals to help him against the Marvel Universe's many heroes. But he has also trained a number of Marvel's heroes, including U.S. Agent and Spider-Woman. Interestingly enough, he also trained Crossbones. During the midst of Civil War, Taskmaster was recruited by the government to join the Thunderbolts and hunt down Captain America's secret Avengers. As for Andre Holland, the actor doesn't have too many credits. He did a take on Matt Miller's FX American Horror Story. He also played Henry Deaver in Castle Rock. His film credits include A Wrinkle in Time, 42, Selma, and Moonlight.
I haven't watched.
Yeah, Marvel reportedly greenlit the Black Widow movie before July of last year, when reports surfaced that Kate Shortland would direct the film. Back in February, Collider reported that writer Ned Benson was brought on the project to rewrite the original script by Jack Schaefer. Early rumors indicate the film will be a prequel movie taking place 15 years after the fall of the Soviet Union and would involve Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier. Now that's cool.
Okay, so that's why
it'll take place. Why they probably need a slightly younger. I don't think she's going to be.
I still want Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow to be in it. Goddamn. Nah. See, it's bad because when I heard Taskmaster, I was like,
yeah, I was a little bit excited, and then
I was like, this might be one of the times that I still go out.
But no.
To watch a Marvel movie, especially since this is about an established character. This isn't bringing in the new people or nothing. And now I'm like, nope.
Mata put it best. He said, went from cool to not giving a shit in 5 seconds flat.
Yeah.
That's pretty much me. Yeah. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah,
As soon as it said Ultimate, I didn't even know there was an Ultimate Taskmaster. Then when I found his powers, I'm like, I don't even care. Wow.
Yeah, that's I guess
you made him Bishop. Either. You made him fucking Bishop. That's what you did. You turned him into fucking Bishop.
God damn it. Now, this is just a rumor, right?
Just a rumor right now. Yeah.
They think they're modeling him after Ultimates.
Yeah.
Because maybe they dress him like Ultimates and then.
But I still think his powers need to be, the photographic reflexes.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but still give him his powers, not the
I
Ultimate's powers.
But I don't like the costume either. But
I don't like the costume either. But if that's all they're doing, then that wouldn't be too terrible.
I don't have as long as there's limitations to it. Seems like a neat way to make the character more threatening. Personally,
he was already threatening as fuck.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. But see, I kind of like the idea that he could like take on somebody like Cap, or that he could, do things like Hawkeye or something like that. But he wouldn't have a Chinaman chance in hell against the Hulk. Like in a because he couldn't. They couldn't copy his strength. They whitewashed Bishop and called him Taskmaster. Well, we all look. We know that it's probably a good thing because Bishop he can't seem to hold a gun correctly. He holds it backwards, or he just holds a bike lock and says, "This is a gun, guys." For some reason, I thought Taskmaster was black. No, he's a white guy.
I wouldn't care if they changed that, if they felt like changing
I mean, that's one of those things, because he wears a mask, who cares,
Yeah, it's not
like, I was one of the few when,
character.
honestly, when I was one of the few when Daredevil, that movie came out, I didn't care that they made Kingpin a black guy.
Yeah.
In that movie, I was like, yeah, that's whatever, I mean, in fact, here's the funny thing. You're going to find this hilarious. My black friend was more upset that they cast a black guy.
Well, yeah, he cast him as a bad guy.
No. It had nothing to do with that. He was mad. He said it should have been
just because
it needed to be true to the source. No, he's one of those needs to be true to the source. So
there's some characters that I'm like, you can play with some stuff with some characters when it's not imperative to the characters.
Like I didn't care.
Peter Parker himself needs to be a scrawny little white kid.
Right.
Because that's kind of important. But like, fucking Nick Fury, I don't give a fuck.
And he
was cool as Sam Jackson.
Well, when Ultimates came out, when the Ultimate Universe came out, and they had they basically modeled Nick Fury after Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, that was I mean, the artist even said they did exactly that. And I said I can dig that. That's fine. You know what I mean? Because
I think that's cool. Some characters can be updated like that. It's kind of important to their personality.
I'm not going to be one of those people that say that the only true Nick Fury in movies is David Hasselhoff. There was actually a movie, right? It was a made-for-TV Nick Fury movie.
Oh my god!
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury.
I think I've seen images from it, but I didn't realize what the fuck.
And here's the funny thing: he wouldn't do the grayed, the grayed out sides on his hair because he said it made him look old.
But I don't want to actually look like the fuck character.
Well, it's the Hoff. You don't hassle the Hoff. Remember, you gotta.
Yeah. I was torn because personally, I was like, dude, he looks fucking badass. I don't give a shit. Like. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't remember any. I was gonna say I don't remember any Black Norse dudes, but
yeah. But at the same time, you're like, you kind of got to it's whatever,
I know, but at the same time, I'm still like, but it looks so fucking cool, man. Like, fuck it.
Plus, it was Idris Elba, so
right, like, exactly. I'm like, it's fucking cool though. Like, I'm torn.
That's why that'd be one of those like when they said
makes no sense.
If they said if the next James Bond was Idris Elba, I'd be like, yep, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Cool.
Well, see, I'm always under the impression. This is my feeling on James Bond. I always feel that James Bond is less of a person; it's more of a code name.
Yeah.
Like that's just the name of the current 007. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just their code.
Maybe the first one's name was actually James Bond, but after that,
it's kind of like the Dread Pirate
like
Roberts. It just there's the original Dread Pirate Roberts is retired and chilling, but so we'll assume. My assumption is Sean Connery was the real first quote James Bond, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else is not James Bond, but they're called James Bond.
Yeah, they're just taking on.
Mata, you get out of here. I don't
on the
look. You don't.
on
You
the
don't
reputation.
Hold on. Don't take away my headcanon. Shut up. He said
I
is not a code
yeah,
name.
it just showed up for me. Oh,
But I don't care what that says or anybody says. That's what I'm going with. My I don't if crazy Tumblerinas can come up with their stupid fucking headcanons, then I can do the same thing. You let me have my headcanon.
yeah, I'm not talking about even the books. I'm just talking about the movies since so many people have played them.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cooler if it was a code name just to keep the oh shit, did they say James Bond? Fuck, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, retcons are like pretty easy when you just say, oh, it's you know, it's less of a guy, it's more of a name for the agent. You know, that way the true agent will never get found out, kind of thing. You know. Yeah.
Although technically, I guess just 007 could be used for that.
We only come for Piper anyway. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Do any of you people even know my name? In all honesty, I'm just gonna ask. I was like, do you people know my name? You know, I'm gonna be like Zack Snyder for a minute. Yeah, fuck the fans. I can see it now.
Batman gonna do what I tell him to.
But no, yeah. Like I said, that was just it's an idea. You know, it could be like that.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's where I get the shit from.
I'm really sad about this Taskmaster. I was so excited. I was like, oh, Taskmaster on the big screen. Fucking A. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. I thought your name was really Optimus. No, I'm not that guy. There is a guy. He was in the and he was actually a what do you call it? Reserves. He was in the reserves. There was a guy in the reserves who actually changed his legal name to Optimus Prime, and he was Major Optimus Prime.
Oh my god.
Like, I personally am one of the biggest Optimus Prime fan you will ever meet. I could tell you things about Optimus Prime that probably the creators don't know at this point. But I'm not going to go change my fucking name, like real life name to fucking, so I'm just asking.
Because I'm like, I mean, balls to fucking.
I've heard somebody said the guy's kind of a jerk too.
Oh.
But it's like you said, it's whatever. You have a name. Well, yeah, whatever.
It's Opti-Dad.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody's father. Now here's our to end of the night. Here's our laugh of the night.
But the rest of the shit was pretty funny too.
But it's gonna be hilarious though. Science fiction and fantasy author Fonda Lee. Okay, that name has got to be made up.
Well, it might. Well, I mean, 10 names.
Decries Barnes and Noble stocking J.R.R. Tolkien and Robert Jordan books. We are competing with dead guys.
Can I say my piece before you even read this?
Sure.
All right. First thing I noticed is, who the fuck is Fonda Lee?
Yeah. Anybody know who?
Never heard of her. And I don't think it's because I've heard of Tolkien. And the other thing is, the second a creator pulls shit like this, they're usually pretty done. Because you're flat out saying, I'm not good enough, and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah, just, you're useless. Just be honest. Yeah,
just sell your books, and be happy with your fans, and holy shit, keep putting stuff out there, and somebody will find it and make a movie out of it. And
yeah, I mean,
but no, you sitting here going off about dead people still selling their books, like, duh.
Like, dude, like seriously, like you're comparing your work to Tolkien, and you know what I mean, like,
yeah.
That'd be like somebody asking, like, "Hey, why doesn't my book sell as well as the Bible?" Well,
right?
You know, even worse, Piper. It'd be like, why doesn't my book sell as well as the Bible in a Christian bookstore?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what she's asking. It's like,
Yeah.
science fiction and fantasy author Fonda Lee, the writer of the Green Bone Saga.
Never heard of it.
I'm doing a shrug. I'm like,
Yeah.
decried Barnes and Noble for stalking popular fantasy authors J.R.R. Tolkien and Robert Jordan. For those unfamiliar,
Barnes and Noble needs to make their money.
Yeah, I'm going to add some words to this first line here. For those unfamiliar, the five people in the back with J.R.R. Tolkien. Where have you been living? Tolkien is the writer behind The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings has sold over 150 million copies since it was first published in the mid-1950s. Robert Jordan is the man behind the popular Wheel of Time series. So Jordan, he's kind of.
So I mean, when their books have movies, sweetie, they're gonna make a lot of money for the new readers, and Barnes and Noble wants money.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Jordan Wheel of Time series has reportedly sold over 44 million copies in 2000. By 2007, when Jordan passed away, Brandon Sanderson would complete the final 3 books in the 14-book series off of Jordan's notes. Lee would write on Twitter, this is what modern fantasy writers are up against. In my local BNN, most authors are lucky to find a copy of their book. Super lucky if it's face out. There are 3.5 shelves of Tolkien, 1.5 for Jordan. Here's who we compete against for shelf space. Not each other, but dead guys. Those get
write something that I don't know sells, lady. God
here's the thing, those dead guys. If it wasn't for those dead guys, you wouldn't be on that shelf. There wouldn't be a shelf, more than likely. If it wasn't for Tolkien, you wouldn't have a genre. Fantasy was considered trash literature. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Some people have heard of her, but for the wrong reasons. So
I don't know who Fonda Lee is, but her name sounds like Fondle, and that's kind of funny in a dirty sort of way.
Really not fond of her book.
I got him. Back in the days of the 40s and earlier, when it was considered not so good, only worth 10 cents and train rides. Yeah. I mean, fantasy wasn't that big a deal back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And that's her tweet. Oh, let me get... Hey, at least it's not Justice League advertisement. So they finally changed that. Thank goodness. If you actually look at the photo provided by Lee, you will see that Tolkien's books only take up approximately 2.5 shelves, not 3.5 as she asserts. I like how we go, okay, let's get into the details of her stupidity and show why she's an idiot. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Like the tweet didn't speak for itself, but you know what I mean? Let's see. It says, there also appears to be a wide array of Tolkien works on the shelves that are not just limited to the Lord of the Rings series. As far as the Wheel of Time series, it appears to only take up a shelf and a half. But you count the actual books, there's only 29. As I mentioned previously, there's 14 books in the Wheel of Time series. There's only around 2 copies for each book. Lee would continue to lament these highly successful and popular books were taking up so much space at Barnes & Noble.
Who wrote this?
What do you mean?
I gotta look. Who wrote this article?
Oh, we'll see in a second.
I like this guy. Yeah, I see it now. I like this guy. It's just great.
I don't know who this author is, but maybe she is really good. I don't know, but authors to artists. Most don't get the recognition they deserve until they're gone. It's unfortunate but true. That's true.
I mean, that is true.
She might not even see the day she gets 3.5 shelves. Sad but true. I read her book because my dad owns a bookstore. It wasn't good.
And she only has one book under her name, and she thinks she deserves more space than these people. Oh my God.
Well, most of the time, like, don't they list those in alphabetical order too? Like,
yeah, usually that's how they make it easier to find.
Yeah. I mean, where's her... I'd be asking, what's the title of your book, right?
Was Bone something.
What was it called? Bone Saga?
Green... Bone. No,
Yeah, Green Bone Saga. Yeah, right of
Green Bone.
Green
Something
Bone.
that started with a G. That was so forgettable that even though it's in the article.
Yeah, a Green Bone Saga. So is it one book?
Yeah, apparently it's just one book. It's yeah, Green Bone.
Yeah, okay, so it's only one book, and
Guess it's just one book, yeah. And she's all, why am I not as popular as fucking?
oh, here we go. Before you at me about the importance of the classics, I love LOTR too, okay? But 3.5 shelves, so much great modern SFF work out there. I found one copy of my WFA winning book, one of most of the other Nebula and Hugo nominees, one copy of the 5th season, 18 copies of LOTR. Look, okay. When you put up Hugo nominee, I immediately discount you.
Yeah, I'm already. That's a piece of shit.
We already know that the Hugo is a piece of crap. Yeah, there's like it's having. I won a Hugo award means I breathe air, right? Yeah. It literally means nothing at this point.
I mean, it would be more impressive if she was a dude and said that she won a white dude said that she won a Hugo award. Mm-hmm. Then it'd be a little bit impressive. Oh my god.
Fonda then explains the business that Barnes and Noble is in, a bookstore. I'm just taking a wild guess. I think Barnes and Noble might be a bookstore. She describes it as a place of discovery. They're a business.
The library is where you can go and discover books.
If you think a
Barnes
bookstore
and Noble needs to fucking sell them.
Wait, listen to this. If you think a bookstore should be a place of discovery, who goes to being in and discovers Tolkien, do they figure people want another 5 copies of LOTR and aren't interested in all the other works out there? I don't know, guys. Sometimes it's hard for me to go into bookstores, to be honest. You should really stop if this is what you're going to complain about. Because the reason there are 10 copies of, like, let's say, I'm just going to Return of the King, right? Because they'll probably sell 10 copies of Return of the King.
Yeah. It's a supply and demand thing. Like, if they're going out fast, then they're stocking them fast. And
what happens is
so that they're not out.
And I can tell you what happens. A lot of these books get bought around Christmas, right? Because the kids, they'll because hey, I know how Christmas works, especially, that's when a lot of times you're going to see the Tolkien movies, like, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbits, those movies come out, right? Not come out, but, they're played on like TNT or whatever, usually through the holidays. And so the kids like, oh man, I would like to read those books. And the parents go buy those books and they don't have a problem with it because, they're pretty tame. So, and 9 times out of 10, also, I'm not going to discount this too. Sometimes they're school assignments, so they have to go buy the book,
Oh, dude, she wasn't even a winner of the Hugo. She was.
Wow, you can't even win You can't even win a fucking award that's pretty much stacked for people like her to win it.
Specifically her, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She didn't calls for support from local indie bookstores. And reminder that this is another reason why I love my local indie bookstore, that we must, for the love of God, keep supporting them.
Go buy my book. Instead of doing all this, she could just shill her book. Like, I think that would be more productive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Leeson, the first person to criticize Tolkien. Last November, another science fiction author, Andy Duncan, decried Tolkien's famous Lord of the Rings, claiming it promoted racism because of the way it portrayed orcs. These people are going to kill me.
Yeah. They're so fucking salty, and that's why nobody wants your books.
Mm-hmm. Guys, the bad guys in the book were portrayed as bad guys.
Oh shit.
I
That's
know.
Racist.
I know it's hard to believe. But for some reason, that jackass J.R.R. Tolkien made the bad guys in the book the actual fucking bad guys.
What I don't get is these people saw the orcs or read the orcs, whichever way they were exposed to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the first thing they thought was black people.
Yeah, why are you comparing them?
And then everybody else is the racist. Like the person that wrote it was the racist, not the person going, that's racist. What the fuck?
I've always said when somebody sees racism in everything they see, maybe that's the thing they're seeing is not racist.
Yes.
Just
half the time people complaining, they're the ones that sound racist. Like remember when everybody got ticked off over I guess there was a monkey shirt or something. I can't remember the shirt. There was something with a monkey, had to do with a monkey or something.
Right.
And tons of people were like, "Holy shit, how fuck!" Like, I think the racist person is the one that saw the monkey and went, "Oh my god, they mean black people." Like, pretty sure
I know
that's
what it was.
Racist.
I know what it was. It was one of the Planet of the Apes movies, the recent ones, and one of them. And one of them was wearing a vest, and they said they thought it looked like D-Ray.
Oh my god. Yeah, but they're not the racist ones.
I said, you're the one, like, dude, you're the one that saw D-Ray in that situation, not anybody else. Like, come on now, let's. I want to think about this for a second here. Nice. Let's see if the chat has anything to say about this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Failure said it too again, but I'm saying she might get some attention now. Yep. But only negative attention. She's not going to help her. In fact, it probably killed her future career.
Here's a good point in the chat. If Fonda Lee writes as well as Tolkien and Jordan, she will have no problem. I'm quite sure Tolkien and Jordan didn't start it with tons of shelf space. They needed tons of shelf space because their works are universal demand from fantasy fans. And like I said, if you go to her website and read excerpts from her book, believe me, she doesn't write as well as Tolkien. Well, you know what? Fonda Lee.
Okay, so she's pulling Midnight Images at her Twitter. She's pulling a poor me, go boost my book by apparently writing Amazon reviews, whether actually.
Oh Lord! So she's one of those people.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's got quite a few books.
Huh. Well, I mean, if she's upset, it's because she's not good. Instead of whining about people who are good, get good. Duh. Lobo.
Let's see here.
Calm the fuck down.
Jade City. Family is duty. Magic is power. Honor is everything. Jade is the lifeblood of the island of Kekon. It has mined, traded, stolen, and killed for. And for centuries, honorable green-bone warriors like the Cole family have used it to enhance their magical abilities and defend the island from foreign invasion. So it's a story about Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Now the war is over and a new generation of Coles vies for control of Kekon's bustling capital city. They care about nothing but... They care about nothing but protecting their own, cornering the jade market, and defending the districts under the protection. Ancient tradition has little place in this rapidly changing world. When a powerful new drug emerges that lets anyone, even foreigners, wield jade, the simmering tensions between the Coles and the rival Ayet family erupts into open violence. The outcome of this clan war will determine the fate of the Green Bones. From their grandest patriarch to the lowliest motorcycle runner in the streets, and of Kekon itself. Jade City begins an epic tale of family, honor, and those who live and die by the ancient laws of jade and blood.
Jesus. Even her excerpt sounds convoluted.
Yeah. This is supposed to be the first book?
Wow.
I mean, by the way, I bet that I made her book sound more exciting than it actually was with my voiceover, you know. Lois said that he's gone too long without my attention. Well, you know.
They were talking about they can hear him whining.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he's patient, and sometimes.
Oh man. So yeah, I'm not seeing great things for her future. In all honesty.
I said probably nobody's heard of her, and it has nothing to do with shelf space. I mean, not only that, but Tolkien. Not only are they in demand, but they have like a fuck ton of books. So
yeah,
they need more shelf space in order to sell.
It's like, and it ain't just like, and the thing is, it ain't just those books. I mean, there's the offshoot books that his son kind of sort of finished. Whatever. So there's a lot of materials about Tolkien, and not just the main books that he's written. So yeah, that's
Gosh, so that's career suicide. I'm sorry.
I just realized I got her like website on the screen. And it's probably more advertisement than she's ever gotten.
Probably. Now, like 10 people actually know who the fuck she is.
So,
jeez, you should honor the greats that paved the way, not be jealous of them like a little bit.
I read it out of order and oops. Yeah, well. Okay, so.
Grow up fondly.
I believe that this is it for tonight. I can't think I don't have anything else to say. But tune in tomorrow night. Because Xavier will be here. And Piper will too. And she's actually she's read the script. And we're gonna do the official talk about and everything. We're gonna give you the official rundown for the debut of our comic Midnight Cowboy.
Woo!
So it's
and
gonna
I helped.
She helped / helping.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. Like I said, tell this is one I really want people to advertise. I want really people to kind of get in on it because I'm not gonna show the script. Obviously we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the script. We're gonna talk about some things in the script. We're not gonna like throw everything out there. But I do want to try to get the word out, try to get some early buzz going. We may have an artist lined up, but we got to see if he'll like the script and talk about page rates and things like that. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting. But biggest reason why I'm putting it out there now is to get it so it's basically in concrete and a proven public portion that this is our idea. And
it is a thing that is officially definitely happening. Yeah,
and also so nobody will. If I have to hand the script to somebody to like edit or whatever, it won't get stolen.
So tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tomorrow's stream is gonna be awesome.
Yes, please.
All of our streams are awesome, but tomorrow's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. What do you mean you're funny? So it's going to still be funny. Don't worry about that. If you could hear some of the things we talk about when we were in the discussion of making, writing up this script, you would. It was some hilarious shit that we've come up with. But so anyway, like I said,
jeez, Lobo, oh God.
Tune in tomorrow night. We will be here, and will Xavier bring his X-Men along? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. I think Piper is the only one from the group I follow. Is that bad? Yes, it is. Hold on a second. Here. Okay.
We are all pretty hilarious.
You can follow me. This is my @ on Twitter. I'm typing in the chat. And of course, this is for this account. It's the same as this. I forgot what Xavier's is. They're all in the. Scroll down. Look at the thing in the bottom.
Yeah, you can get up on this. It's all in the description.
Everybody who's been on the show pretty much has some kind of information. There's a lot of information at the front where we were shilling like projects and stuff. I need to clean that up because some of those projects are done or they didn't quite make it. So we'll need new things and stuff like that. But anyway, like I said, y'all have a good night. We will see you tomorrow, and we're going to tell you more about the Midnight Cowboy. Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.